Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have news to share about the backlash, the worldwide backlash to Donald Trump and how he is destroying our country. Also, companies, US companies, and industries that are being decimated because of his ridiculousness and because of how other countries feel about us. So, before I dive into all these details, please do me a huge favor. Click the subscribe button below the video. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. It helps to get more eyeballs on this information. And I greatly appreciate it. Also, everyone who helps to support the show with donations, my undying gratitude. Huge, huge thanks. You literally help to keep the show going. So, here is the deal around the globe, people are pissed off at the United States. I know that's probably not a shock to all of you. um, but yeah, they're pissed at our country. They're pissed at Donald Trump with very good reason. And one man actually created an app. And this is to help shop, or I guess it wasn't a man who created it, but a group that created it. They created this to help shoppers in France avoid US products. I am not joking. This is called the De-Trumpify Yourself app. So check out this CNN report about this man who's in the group and what this app all does, why this is so key, and why people are on board with this.
Across Europe, a quiet protest is playing out in supermarket aisles. American products left untouched. The hashtag Boycott Trump is gaining traction as Facebook groups rally Europeans to push back against US policies with their wallets. Michel joined a French group in March. His group even provides an app called De-Trumpify Yourself that lets consumers know if a company's funding traces back to the United States. One recent survey in France found that 6 out of 10 people support consumer boycotts of US goods.
So, not exactly what I think of when I hear the phrase "Make America Great Again," right? I mean, how is this making America great? By, destroying the economy, pissing people off. And as I've shared in other videos, foreign tourists are also boycotting the US, and the numbers continue to worsen. So, Travel Weekly, they reported that visitations to Las Vegas, Nevada have declined by, or not by, but over the past 3 months. So, over a 3 month continual ongoing basis, they have seen declines in the number of visitors to Vegas. In March, Las Vegas saw a 7.8% drop compared to March of 2024. And in February, it was even worse. February's annual decline, meaning year over year, was 11.9%. And the report said air travel in Nevada, it fell to, I'm saying Nevada. Yeah, it's Nevada. Trying to think of how the Trumps say it. They say Nevada instead of Nevada. Anyway, air travel into Nevada fell in both February and March as compared to the same months in 2024. And April's figures should soon be released. So we'll see if it continued to decline, which I can pretty much guarantee it did. We're also getting more details about how businesses are being affected by the drop in Canadian tourism. So the New Jersey Spotlight, it's a news outlet, they spoke with a property manager. Her name is Joy Costas. And she said there's been a steep decline in demand for properties this year. Costas told the news outlet, quote, "We are seeing a major drop in Canadians booking. I hope that changes, but we've had Canadians cancel. We've had Canadians ask us if there is some type of problem between the countries and the borders close. Will you refund us if we can't travel to the vacation destination?" And of course, we would, but some people are worried about it, obviously, or we wouldn't get questions about whether or not we would issue those refunds. So people are worried that like the border's going to shut down. they're going to have put a deposit down on a vacation and then they're going to be out that money. And the director of a New Jersey tourism authority, he also spoke with this news outlet. He said, quote, "We're getting calls from Canadians saying they feel unwelcomed, disrespected. They do not like the politics, and most of them are saying they will see us in 4 years. We don't know what the percentage of Canadians we are not going to get this year. We were projecting a 3 to 5% loss of Canadian visitors this year. We may think it's higher this year." There are now reports from Adam Sachs from Tourism Economics reporting a 23 to 24% drop off in Canadian visitors. So huge. I mean, this is the biggest market of tourism is from the Canadians. And then Antonio Cataldo, he is the property manager of a motel. It's called Royal Canadian Motel. This is in the Jersey Shore area of New Jersey. And he said that out of 85 rooms that they have, normally they'll rent about 55 of them, to Canadians. So far, as of this year, only about half of those rooms are booked. So he's hopeful. He's like, oh, there's still time. Don't count on it, guy. And then data continues to show a decline in Canadian border crossings by car. So according to Canada, their documentation, in March, the number of Canadians returning from America by car dropped by 1.5 million. That is a huge loss of revenue to local businesses in the United States. And some areas of Michigan are reporting between 47 and almost 50% drops in Canadians crossing the border for day trips, which apparently it's like a big tourism thing. I mean, they a lot of people, because they're right across the border. They can see each other across the border. And so they would go into Michigan for a day trip, go hang out, patron the stores there. So this is tourism that Michigan relies on. And a travel agent told the Michigan news, or a Michigan news outlet, it's called MLive. This travel agent told the outlet that over the past few months, she's received calls from Canadian clients to either cancel or postpone travel. So she said they're canceling or postponing things like Alaskan cruises, vacations, family vacations to Disneyland and Disney World, bachelor parties in Vegas. And this is not just about the tariffs. This is not just about tariffs or Trump's asinine comments about taking over Canada. The travel agent confirmed Canadians are very fearful of being detained. She said a lot of them who used to go and use the Detroit Metro Airport in Michigan because it's closer. Like I said, they're literally just across the border. So for some of these Canadians, it is closer for them to drive into the US and use the Detroit Metro Airport instead of driving further, like a couple hours in some cases, to an airport in Canada. So we're losing that revenue too. But she was saying that now they're worried that they might miss a flight or, maybe even worse, because they're worried about being detained. And the agent told the news outlet, quote, "If you're denied entry or you have to withdraw your application, now you're out all that money. You're not only not going on the trip, but a lot of times those trips are non-refundable or under penalty. So there's financial risk." So people are like, I don't want to miss my flight. I don't want to possibly be detained for 10 days, 2 weeks, like we're hearing about other people, and then miss my entire vacation. So I don't blame them. I don't blame them for being concerned. And case in point, I don't know if you guys saw this story, but Trump's Gestapo arrested and deported 2 German teenagers for no reason, absolutely no reason. So these girls had a lengthy trip planned. They were going to travel, I think, for an entire year. And part of it was going to be spent in the US. So this is 19-year-old Charlotte Pole and 18-year-old Maria Lapierre, I think is how you pronounce her name. Lapierre. They arrived in Honolulu and they were planning to backpack in Hawaii. And then from there, they were going to go to California. And then from California, they were going to travel to Costa Rica. Well, they had all the proper travel authorizations, had everything in order. But in Trump's bizarro, paranoid America, the authorities said, oh, well, why are you here and you haven't booked a hotel room? Because they're teenagers and they're backpacking and they can't afford it. Not a tough question, right? But instead, instead of believing these girls that, oh, we're backpacking, we're not staying in a hotel, they accuse Trump's Gestapo accused them of trying to secretly sneak into the US to work illegally. So they arrested these girls, they strip searched them, they placed them in prison jumpsuits and handcuffed them, and then threw them in jail. And so the next day, Trump's goons forced these girls to sign false confessions, and then they threw them on a plane and sent them to Japan. And they told them, you won't get your passport back until you arrive in Japan. And then we'll give it back to you. And then you need to just go home. So when Charlotte and Maria finally got back to Germany, they were interviewed about this whole ordeal. And they told a news outlet they were locked in this freezing cold cell overnight. They were locked in with an alleged murderer who they said had been locked up for 18 years. And then Maria said, quote, "It was a shock. We didn't expect it. We had already noticed a little bit about what was going on in the US, but at the time, we didn't think it was happening to Germans. That was perhaps very naive. We felt so small and powerless." And then Charlotte told the reporter that these documents that they were forced to sign, quote, "contained sentences we didn't actually say. They twisted it to make it seem as if we admitted that we wanted to work illegally in the US." So, I mean, if it was just one person saying something like this, maybe it would be believable. But then you're hearing from these other parents who were forced out of the country with their US born children. And they're saying the same thing, that they're being forced to sign documents that they don't even know what it is. Oftentimes, it's not in their language, like it's not in Spanish. And so they have no idea what this says. And they're signing things that they don't mean to, that are fabrications about their intentions here in the US or who they are, what they want to do with their kids. In some cases, these children are being sent with the parents to a country where they've never lived. Again, they're US born citizens. And the parents, in some of these instances, wanted their children to remain with the other parent here in the US. So there's no way for the Trump administration to spin this and, oh, well, these are all lies. All of them are lying. People who do not know each other from completely different countries are all saying the same thing about Trump's Gestapo, but they're lying? Really? Okay. So again, this is what we're dealing with. We are now in the United States of fascism. That's what I'm calling it from now on. This is so out of control. This is so not American. This is so not what our country is supposed to be founded on. It's sick what we have become in like less than 4 months. Less than 4 months. He has destroyed our country. So, yeah, I don't blame anyone from any country not wanting to come here. I mean, most days, I don't even want to be in the United States. but I will be damned if I give up and stop fighting. So, anyway, guys, I will keep you posted. I'll let you know when I hear more. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, even though I know it sucks, the content and what it is, what it relays about our country. Please share this with everyone you know so they understand what is happening. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. Really appreciate it. If you can donate, also greatly, greatly appreciated. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.